everyone, welcome to Snowbreak Containment Zone. So here we are with another character preview. This time it is for Fritia Turbo Hare, and this is courtesy again, as usual, of Vikesh. Thank you for the translation of the character preview. So let's proceed with how she looks like. So in continuation of the theme that they use, so they are again with another tactical suit. This time it's for Fritia Turbo Hare, and here are some of the animations. So weapon is going to be sniper rifle. Chaos is going to be for the element, and roll is ballistic DPS. Okay, so she is ballistic damage and not skill DPS. Take note of that. Okay, so now we have, again, going back to the animations, we have a few here. Her main animations are going to be on the left. These are I think skill animations, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll go through all of the skills now, starting off with her standard skill. It's called Drifting Sun. So although she is a ballistic DPS role, her her damage will mostly come from her standard skill. Okay, so it's more, I think, of a zone, or a she transports into a different different aura or zone. That is what I called it. But let's read through it. Passive: after dodging, Fritia enters overclock drive. This is the zone that I've been telling you about. An enhanced sprinting state, unaffected by reload. So for a period of time, dodging does not interrupt this state and instead refreshes the duration. While in this state, Fritia gains stacks of data point. Take note of that data point. You should remember this, guys, because this will be part of her gameplay. This is going to be stacking over time, affected by her stamina regeneration. All data point stacks are lost when Fritia exits the field. So definitely, she is going to be your main DPS operative. Okay, so for the active portion of the standard skill, after gaining enough data point stacks, Fritia can cast her standard skill to enter the analysis state. In this state, Fritia cannot move, but takes reduced damage. Additionally, hipfire shots will have an auto-aim where enemies and enemy parts will automatically be locked on to fire at. Okay, so my question here is that if this is an auto-aim ability, what are the priorities for the auto-aim? Because we need to know the priorities, which, if you do this, which parts are going to be lighted first, or which parts is she going to be aiming at first? Because again, we're talking about here have an aim zone where enemies and enemy parts, take note, enemy parts will be automatically locked into. So we should know the order of the locking on how to at least time these locking mechanism, because again, this will be, enemy parts are actually crucial. It might lock, especially for enemies would have multiple parts. So which of them is going to be the priority lock on? The first one. Okay, so firing shots in the state cost data point, which you are generating through the passive, but has an increased rate of fire, which also while also having a set base critical damage multiplier and a weapon compatibility. So for neuronics, when in the analysis, shots hit on enemies restore stamina, which is actually nice. When equipped with a chaos weapon, this skill has its cooldown reduced and no longer consumes as energy. Okay, so let us go to the animation. So she runs and runs, and you can see a bar in the middle refilling. Technically, those are going to be 3 shots that she is firing. So she does have a maximum of 3 shots. Then she should charge that again through dashing and through that passive. Okay, so that is where the magic happens. So data point recharge is through the passive. Then once it's full, you can actually shoot 3 times. So that is her bread and butter, guys. Just have to, again, see how much of a damage really, how big of a damage does this skill do. That is the most important thing here, because we do have a lot of DPS characters already, ballistic characters or ballistic operatives that we do use, and hopefully she's at par with our top ballistic operatives. Okay, moving on to the next one is her support skill, Ember Strike. So this is just gonna go with the preview first. It's like a dash forward with an explosion at the end. So Fritia dashes towards the enemy after coming within a certain distance to the enemy or after a certain period of time. Fritia deals chaos damage to the enemies in range and jumps back. Neuronic 1, duration of dash is extended. And number 2 is the skill can be used while CC'd, clearing the CC effect once the support skill ends. So this support skill you won't be using much because you'll be using her as a primary damage dealing ballistic DPS, but those are the details. And the last one, I'm sure you're gonna be using this because she's your primary active operative. So ultimate skill, Illuminating Descent. So this one, the ability requires a certain number of data points to cast. Take note of that. So you have to charge this with the passive of your standard skill. The animation for this ability will only play once per mission, which is nice. Fritia consumes all data point stacks to deal area of effect damage to enemies in the target direction. If the amount of data point stacks consumed exceeds a certain value, the area of effect and damage dealt is increased based on the additional amount consumed. Neuronic 1, the damage dealt by this ability is affected by ballistic damage buffs. And number 2 is after casting this ability, Fritia restores stamina, which is actually nice as well. The passive for Deus is Blazing Message. Increase chaos damage dealt by Fritia based on the magazine capacity of her equipped weapon. Curious. This bonus scales with alignment index. So I'm not sure on how much, probably for each 100. So damage dealt by Frisia's magazine is okay. Damage dealt by Fritia based on the magazine capacity of her equipped weapon. Okay. So based on the number of bullets, alignment increases. So it really depends on every 100, every whatsoever. But this one is going to be her damage buff. Okay, so what do you think, guys? I think her kit is pretty much interesting. I'm pulling for her definitely. Just curious really at this point on how she performs. Also her gun as well. Hey guys, before we leave, we do have a preview of Fritia Turbo Hare's weapon. So again, it's a sniper rifle chaos type. So details are subject to final EN localization and changes. Okay, so magazine size is 9, which is nice. Presumably this is an auto reload sniper rifle. Rate of fire is 75. So let's take a look at some of the skills here. So increases chaos damage dealt and reduces the stamina consumption of dodges, which is nice because she will be doing a lot of dodge in her kit, kind of similar to Life Infinite Sight. So when the equipped operative dodges or is sprinting, gain stack of red line. Increases ballistic damage dealt if any stacks are present. When the equipped operative is stationary, shots fired will consume a stack of red line to increase the shot's damage. We don't know how big of a buff this is gonna give for ballistic damage, but we'll have to see. Definitely there are going to be other other buffs or other stats here or other text in this gun, but for now it's going to be reducing stamina consumption and going to have a ballistic damage buff. Okay, so that is it. Interesting. The one that I think happy with is the decrease and reduce stamina consumption of dodges, because that is important to her kit, as well as I think her skill rotation. So with that said, again guys, this is going to be part of her arsenal, and I will try to be pulling for her orange tier weapon and see if I have enough after I pull for her. But again guys, I'll give my full thoughts when the whole update drops tomorrow. So that is it guys. Thank you very much again for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.